Hi, welcome to Coffee Talk Thursday. I am Cecilia and hop on here every single Thursday coming at you with some mental health tips and tricks to implement into your life and to level up your life in some way. I'm really glad that you're tuning in and you're giving yourself 5 minutes to tune into what I have to say. Today, I want to share a bit about the topic of forgiveness. So forgiveness is a really, how should I say it, kind of loaded topic in many ways. Mainly because we've learned so much about forgiveness in our childhood. So it's all rooted in what we've learned about forgiveness from our childhood, from our parents, from our grandparents, from our family. A lot of that may come from religion or spiritual beliefs in some way or another. And somewhere in there it kind of gets a little bit mucked up. And it gets a little bit messed up around, forgive and forget, which is a really popular saying that people use that actually doesn't work. And it's not really how forgiveness works. So a big part that we are constantly missing about forgiveness, and I find that a lot of people are talking about it, and we need to kind of give more conversation about it, is that forgiveness actually relies on a sense of safety. So let me break this down for you. It's really difficult to engage in forgiveness of someone when there isn't some form of safety for yourself. Now, and in a really extreme case, it would be, how do you forgive somebody who has harmed you, who continues to harm you? So forgiveness in those situations it's actually not possible. And in fact, it's actually not that it's just not even possible, it's that your mind and your body won't let you do it. So part of our self-protection around wanting safety is to ensure that we can predict what's going to happen and prepare for it in some sort of way. So if someone has hurt us emotionally, physically, sexually, any kind of way, our brain and our mind will remember these things in order to protect ourselves from the next instance that it might actually happen with this person. So forgiving that person without the safety, your mind actually won't let you do it. And you'll struggle with, I just want to forgive, but I can't find myself, I can't be able to do it. So there's a safety factor in that. In any relationship, whether you feel like there needs to be some sort of forgiveness, what has to come with that, if you're going to keep that relationship and still be engaged with that person, then there has to be a sense of safety, whether it's emotional safety or physical safety. But safety is a prerequisite to forgiveness, because forgiveness is an act of vulnerability. It's an act of putting yourself out there to say, I'm letting go of the hurt and the anger that ties me to this thing that you did or this event that happened, and I'm going to alleviate myself from that anger and that resentment and that hurt and that pain, and I'm going to forgive. That's what forgiveness is. It isn't condoning what happened. It isn't accepting the actions of another person as something that you are okay with. So it's not condoning in any kind of way. What it is, it's an act of vulnerability of letting go of the anger that ties you to somebody. And in order to have an act of vulnerability, you actually have to feel safe. It's really difficult and it's impossible to forgive in a situation where there isn't safety. So if you have a situation or a relationship in your life that you're thinking, oh, I really need to forgive this person, I want you to ask yourself, instead of battling with this idea of forgiveness, is really sit in a place of questioning, how much safety do I have in this relationship? How safe do I feel? What is the reality of the situation around my safety? Again, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually, in all the realms, what is the level of safety in that relationship? And if there is a high level of safety, then you can start to explore this idea of forgiveness. However, if there isn't a really high level of safety in this relationship, then that is a primary issue. It's not forgiveness. It's about, how do I create safety in this relationship? Is it possible for me to have safety in this relationship? And what will it take for me to feel safe in this relationship? So forgiveness isn't the first thing that we identify. It's mostly around safety first, because vulnerability is an act. Vulnerability is really about putting yourself out there. And in order to be vulnerable, there needs to be some sort of sense of safety. We will not engage in any kind of vulnerable acts if we're not feeling safe. So if you're getting pressure to forgive someone, or if you've been hounding yourself about forgiveness towards somebody or a situation, I want you to reframe this a little bit, and I want you to think about safety first and ask yourself, what is the level of safety in this situation? And can I create some safety in this situation so I can move towards forgiveness in some way? And if not, then maybe forgiveness isn't the primary goal of that relationship. Hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next week.